theme of this book is great innovations that fail. It's not about bad innovations that fail. It's about great innovations that fail and the difference between those and the great innovations that succeed. And the critical difference is innovators that saw the bigger picture, innovators that were able to use this wider lens at the outset in order to drive their way to success. Great companies obsess over their customers. But what happens because of this focus is that often they neglect to consider or they assume away the critical dependencies that they have with their partners. And this is what leads to what I call the innovator's blind spot. This is what happens when you use strategies and tools that were developed for a world of products in a world of collaborative ecosystems. For example, when Sony launched their e-reader, it was a spectacular product. Great design, great features. And because the publishers were uncomfortable, they didn't release content. And an e-reader on which you don't have books to read may be a great product, but it's a useless solution. The big takeaway is, as you're assessing that innovation, as you're thinking about making commitments, committing yourself, committing your resources, committing teams and other people, before you jump in, make sure that you see, one, the bigger picture that needs to be assembled, and two, that you're clear on how you're going to assemble it, and not just assume that because it's a good idea, things will come together. And that's the big message of the book. The message is when you're assessing your innovations, you can't just ask, is it a great innovations that customers want? You have to ask, what else needs to come around? What else needs to be built around that innovation? And do we have what it takes to build it? A great example of ecosystem success is the way Amazon launched the Kindle. When the Kindle came out, it was considered a very limited device. You couldn't share books, you couldn't download books, you couldn't print out books the way you could with the Sony e-reader. But what Amazon knew is that they needed not just happy customers, they needed happy publishers. All the limitations that made the Kindle closed and somewhat problematic for consumers were there to satisfy the publishers. Publishers were concerned about piracy and they wouldn't release their books for anything that wasn't secure. What Amazon did with the Kindle was they made sure that the publishers saw a win as well as the consumers. And the big message in the ecosystem is that everyone needs to walk away a winner. Otherwise, the innovator walks away as a loser.